Welcome to the latest Libertas video. Today we're going to be continuing our series on the Bayek Left Gauntlet from Assassin's Creed Origins. Now this is our running series where we have taken the Bayek Left Gauntlet, we created the template, and we're going to take it all the way through to completion. So in the previous video we had put the brass pieces onto the leather, and today we're kind of going to finalize everything with the gauntlet. So let's take a quick look at where we left off and I'll run you through what we're doing today. Here, as you can see, I have taken apart the gauntlet as it stands, at least the majority of it, so you got all these pieces just kind of put everywhere. But today what we're going to do is we're going to take and rivet down these brass rivets onto the top plate, and then we'll also put the eyelet holes, or at least rivet down, or hammer down the eyelet holes. So we're going to be using these hammering pieces. And then also, I should note that I did go through and I did smooth out the edges on this top brass piece just to make sure it doesn't snag on anything, because it was a little bit sharp and there were some edges that could be refined. So went through and did that, and if you've noticed, I did take the hidden blade mounting plate and I've made the rivet holes for where the hidden blade will attach. So of course we still need to paint this, but this should be ready to go at the end of the video. We will do some eyelets here as well, just so you guys know why there's so many holes. So that's the idea, and then we will finish up by putting on these beads as decoration for the top of the gauntlet. So kind of doing what we've seen with Bayek's gauntlet. So that's the idea of what we are doing today. I will get the GoPro set up and we will get started. So here we go. All right, so we have riveted down the brass rivets on the top plate, and we also put the eyelets down. So let's take a quick look. The reason I didn't do that in my time lapse was simply because I wanted to show you quickly the technique that I've been using. For the longest time, I just couldn't get these right, either one. And it turns out what I was doing is I was more tapping, so doing multiple passes at hitting these rivets down and also with the eyelets. And the problem with that was creating is it would start splitting the metal, and I could never figure out why. And then I had a buddy, I just asked him real quickly, like, what's a good technique for doing this? And the idea is to hit it one time, nice firm quick strike, and that what that does, it helps prevent any of those splitting. So what you really want to do is just have a nice firm strike and you're good to go. So that's the goal. I usually try to do that one pass. Sometimes on the occasion I have to do two. I did that with the Connor gauntlet, but that's the idea. So that's why I didn't show that. So now the next piece that we're going to be doing is putting on these little beads onto the hidden blade, or the gauntlet. So I went through and I counted how many that are on Bayek's gauntlet in the picture, the cosplay reference, and it was about 22 little blue beads. So hopefully these little guys are going to be sufficient for that. And then I have these orange or reddish orange triangles, and what I'm going to be using is this model glue. I found it in Hobby Lobby near the like car models and everything. So this is what I'm using. It's pretty cheap and really powerful. I actually glued together my Converse that were falling apart and it's still holding. So that's awesome. So we're going to put these beads on. Never really done this before, so I'm hoping this goes out okay. But we'll put the time lapse on this one and we'll check back in once we have completed. So here we go. All right, so we put the beads onto the brass plating, so let's take a quick look. As you probably noticed, I ended up using these needle nose pliers just because my fingers going to be a little too inefficient in putting these beads down without getting my fingers all in the glue. So these worked really, really well, just a really simple pair of needle nose pliers. The glue sets really, really quickly, so I have a few seconds before I couldn't move them anymore, so that's why these needle nose pliers worked really well. But overall, I think it looks pretty good, especially for being it for the first time I've ever done it. Definitely room for improvement, but I think it's going to look good, especially once it's curved on the arm. And since it's not perfect, it will give that good, ancient feel to it. So I'm happy with it. We're going to put it back onto the leather piece on the gauntlet and put at least the top portion back together. We'll leave the bottom portion as is for now because we will be painting the hidden blade in the next video, and then we'll attach it to this gauntlet through all these straps. So that's the idea of what we're going to be doing right now. So I'll set the GoPro back up, we'll get started, and then you'll get a final look at it at the end. So here we go. All right, and we put the brass pieces back onto the top of the gauntlet, so let's take a quick look before we end this video. Overall, I think it's looking really good. You know, we have the brass rivets solidifying this top plate down. We have the beads on here, giving it that nice decoration that we see in Bayek's Gauntlet and the resources. So, I really like the look of it. I know that there's some, indentations and some scratches, and we have some just less than shiny parts of the brass, but I think that really sells the authenticity of it. This older gauntlet, maybe made in 49 BC, so I'm really liking the look. Love how the leather turned out. That's probably my favorite portion of the gauntlet right now. Now, we still need to put the back plates on, so I know I've said it in like 5 videos now that we're almost done, but we are really almost done. We are just going to be painting up the hidden blade and placing it onto the gauntlet itself, and then we will be done. I mean, that's the last portion, so that's going to be our next video. We're going to be painting up this hidden blade, kind of showing you some of the techniques that I'm going to be going through to put this all together, and then we'll get the whole gauntlet finally assembled at the end of that video. So we have one more to go. Very exciting. I'm really excited to see how this kind of comes together in its final form. So stick with us, and we'll see you on the next Libertas video.